Hi, welcome. I am Reveye. Reveye is a Haitian Creole word that means to awaken, and welcome to my channel. My name is Judes. I have been debating, going back and forth, like, will I, won't I, in terms of recording a YouTube video. I have not recorded a video on this channel in over 12 years, and I think I have most of my videos hidden probably. Maybe one day I might re-expose them, but they are a little bit embarrassing and super low quality. So yeah, there's that. But I was just watching and catching up with some videos on Rose Honey Rituals channel, and she did a VR called 9 Things from She Walks in Beauty, and I thought it was so cute, so short and sweet, and I was like, you know what? If you're gonna jump in, this is the perfect thing to jump in on, so let's go. Question number one. One thing people do not know about you. Well, there's a lot of things that you guys don't know about me, right? Because I'm kind of brand new to this space. But I guess one thing that I'll tell you and start off with in terms of facts is that I speak 4 languages. I speak English, French, Haitian Creole, and Spanish. Second question. What card in tarot best describes or fits you? So I thought about this for a little while. My birth cards are the Hermit and the Moon. And I do think that those fit me very well or fit aspects of my personality very, very well. But the card that I kind of settled in on, and I have it out so that you guys can see, the Queen of Swords. This is the Queen of Swords from the Mermaid Tarot. I hope there's not a glare. I'm trying to make sure that there's no glare so you guys can see it clearly. I rock with this woman, well, this mer woman. I see her in my dreams. When I close my eyes, I see her staring at me. And I definitely fit the description of Queen of Swords very, very well. That is who I am. That is my embodiment here on this earth. So the Queen of Swords, especially this particular Queen of Swords. Back to my notes. One song on the soundtrack of your life. The song that came to mind for me was a song by an old group that used to be around back in the 90s called Zhane. That's spelled Zhane. It was 2 melanated women singing together. And the song that best embodies me is Everything Happens for a Reason. It's a very slow, lilting R&B song. There's a lot of vocal play and, bring out your mic and sing along with them type of vibes. But also the message of that song, Everything Happens for a Reason, I feel perfectly encapsulates my life walk. Childhood crush. Ooh, fun. I have no adult crushes that I can really think of right now, or anybody that you guys would know. Like, I'm sure, like, when I go to the supermarket, I see a cutie. I'm like, oh yeah. But I mean, that's, I'm not going to be like, this is the guy I saw at the supermarket last week. It's not that serious. But I have 2 childhood crushes that I want to talk about right now. The first childhood crush is Philip Michael Thomas from Miami Vice, and I had to write down the name of his character because I don't remember the name of the character. But you see how quick the actor's name came, right? Yeah, just know. His character's name was Ricardo Rico Tubbs on Miami Vice. I don't even remember that. I was just like, ooh, Philip Michael Thomas, yes, he was everything when I was little. The other character or person, he's not a character, he's actually a person, is Denzel Washington. I live for Denzel. I watch Denzel movies. I'm all here for Denzel. Denzel and The Equalizer. Oh, Lord, thank you. I think the thing that comes most to mind, though, when I think of crush, is his role with Sanaa Lathan in that movie Out of Time. If you have never seen that movie and you are a Denzel stan, what are you doing with your life? Rent it today. They have some steamy, hot scenes. Child, you see, I'm starting to sweat. I'm starting to sweat because I have my fans off and stuff because I'm videoing, but I'm also starting to sweat because Denzel and Out of Time, hot flashes. All right, moving on. Hey, I'm in editing mode, as you can see. Completely different lighting, everything's different. But I realized that I skipped an entire question. So I wanted to go back and make sure I hit this question, which is one book that changed my life or perspective. So I have two books that I really want to mention. One book is The Color Purple by Alice Walker. I read that book in high school and it had a profound effect on my life. I have the copy of it on my e-reader, my Kobo, and I reread that book many, many times. I've read it over and over again. I actually wrote a paper in college about how the movie does not do the book justice and the things that Steven Spielberg did that messed up the vision that Alice Walker had for the book and for the subsequent movie, because I do believe she was heavily involved in writing the script for the movie, but the vision that Steven Spielberg brought to life was not the vision that Alice Walker had. And I think that that is a shame. And I just wanted to read you a quick quote from that book, The Color Purple. I think it pisses God off if you walk by the color purple in a field somewhere and don't notice it. People think pleasing God is all God cares about, but any fool living in the world can see it's always trying to please us back. Love that book. Love it, love it, love it. So the other book I wanted to talk about really quick today is this one. This book is called Reuthu. It is by an author named Storm Constantine. And I love this book. Now, I'm a huge fantasy reader, so this is a fantasy genre book. And let me just read you the blurb on the back because there's no way I can do justice to what this book is about. In this powerful and elegant story set in a future Earth, very different from our own, a new kind of human has evolved to challenge the dominion of Homo sapiens. This new breed is stronger, smarter, and far more beautiful than their parent race, and are endowed with psychic as well as physical gifts. They are destined to supplant humanity as we know it, but humanity won't die without a struggle. Such a good book. And I mean, this is a book. It's well over 700 pages, as you can see. But I like chunky books like this because thinner books tend to bore me. Well, there are some thin books actually that, and I'm sure I'll discuss them in the future, excuse me, that have surprised me. But most of the time, I like to have a chunky book that I can sink my teeth into. And I have read this book more than once. I actually bought this book when I was in my early 20s and I lost the other physical copy. I had to re-buy the book because I have to have this book in my library. I reread this book often as well. And I have the series. The book is actually a series. This is the first book in a series. So if you're down for entirely, I mean, this is an entirely new world, an entirely new set of characters, an entirely new race of people. It is amazing, so well written, so complete. I feel like Storm does not get enough credit for writing this book. This is amazing, and I love it, and I have to have it in my library. So there you go. Books that change my perspective on my life. What is the one thing that you wish they would bring back? Cassette tapes, y'all. Cassette tapes. I wish cassette tapes. Oh, I miss cassette tapes so much. I am a Generation Xer. I'm on the younger side of Generation X, but that is my generation. So I grew up on cassette tapes. Well, when I was little, it was records, and then we switched over to cassette. So, through elementary school, it was all about somebody's cassette tape. Cassette tapes are amazing. You can take it in your hand, give it to your friend. They can borrow the cassette tape. You have a dual cassette tape set. You can record cassette to cassette. I have so many mixed cassettes that people have made for me, mixtapes. Cassettes are everything, and I do wish that they were back. I hate the fact that everything is MP3 and you have to pay for streaming services and all this foolishness. I miss the days where you could just buy an album and it was yours and you could sit down and absorb the music, and then the little cassette had the flaps and the cover and all of the artwork in it, and some of them had words and things from the artist and the producer, and you really could get into the music back then, really understand where they were coming from for their vision for the music. So cassette tapes for sure. What is one thing you wish to leave in the world? Books, lots and lots of books. I wish to write a lot of books. I wish to leave behind my journals. I've been journaling since I was in the second grade, and I'm a Gen Xer, so I got a lot of journals. Just and books that I've read with my notes in the margin and things that make the book belong to me. I want to leave those things behind too. I think books are super important, and I read a lot. I read a lot. The last thing I bought, okay, so the last thing I bought technically was a salad. I just went to Fresh Market and got a kale salad because my friend said she had a kale salad, and I was like, "Ooh, that sounds good." But I don't think that's not what I think of when I think of like the last thing that I bought. The last thing that I bought, and I brought out my little, I do little makeup bags because I prefer to have the zipper, and this one has the Ouija board on it, and I love that. And in this makeup bag, we have the Morgan's Tarot. So I have put myself on a self-imposed hiatus from buying decks, tarot decks, this month in April because I was losing my mind and buying all kind of foolishness in decks. Not foolishness, because I do think all the decks that I bought are actually decks that I want to have in my collection, but I had to put a kibosh on it for the month because I wanted to chill out. But that didn't include Oracle decks. And I love this hippie, trippy, crazy deck. I'm sure you guys have seen this all over YouTube. People are doing flip throughs and stuff, so I'm not going to do that. But just to show you the front, I've actually numbered them so that I could know what their definition is in the guidebook. And then here is the backs. I love this deck. Every time a card flies out, I'm like, what do they mean? What's happening? Like it's a fun deck. And I'm really glad I got it, especially since it's not that expensive. It was a mass market deck, so why not, you know? Oh yes, and the last question, rapper name. So as soon as I saw rapper name, I thought Essence of Life because I was like, that fits me. That's perfect. But then I realized that she put in the caveat, it should start with the name Little. So if it's going to start with the name Little, I would call myself Little Mystery because. And with that, I say thank you for stopping by. Have a good one.